Where's Vance?
He's on his way.
He's late.
Get your hands off me. Leave me alone, damn you. Get out. Why can't you invent a better way of moving me about? This place is getting like a concentration camp.
Father, the nurses are doing all they can.
It's not enough. Too damn lazy. Everyone's so bone idle these days to invent anything useful.
The bed's ready, Mr. Farson.
I'm not getting in. I'm staying here. Get out. Where's Vance?
He's coming, Father.
He's late.
Ah, here he is now. James?
Chester, how's my rural patient?
You're late.
It is 54 miles from Harley Street.
Well, I bought your fast car. Yeah, I'm going to walk it.
James has a busy practice, Father. We should be very grateful.
What is it? Is it money you want?
Well, that's unfair, Father.
The only thing unfair is me having to sit here like some sort of stuffed dummy. Well?
I have heard worse in many a chest.
Don't you flannel with me, James. I don't pay you the earth till you feed me fairy tales.
James is a professional man, Father.
Of the highest possible reputation.
Does he know what he's doing? Huh? Well, do you? Now you listen to me. All of you. I haven't long. I know that. But you're not going to let me die. Not yet.
Then we must rely on James, mustn't we?
It's up to you just as much as James. I brought you up to honor agreements once you've made them. No going back. No going soft. I have to be kept alive.
Chester, I give you my word.
Oh, never mind about that. Give me the paper. Now get out. Go on. Get out, all of you.
James. I think we ought to know. Is he going to be tricky?
Very.
How long has he got, do you think?
Hard to say. Could have an attack any moment.
We'll see you in a minute in the drawing room. Moran will get you a drink. Morning, Gray.
Morning.
Morning.
I think we should have a look at Mr. Farson.
Yes, indeed. We are not at our best today, are we?
£6,000. 6,000. 7,000 pounds. 7,000 pounds. 8,000. 8,000 pounds. 8,000 pounds. 9,000. 9,000 pounds. 9,000 pounds. 10,000 pounds. 10,000 pounds. It's yours, sir.
Coming up now. Property of a gentleman. I tell you, I know that painting.
Well, he painted a lot of apples, didn't he?
Heaven knows I've seen it often enough. I grew up with it. It's been hanging in the hall ever since I was that high. You think I'm crazy, is that it?
Ladies and gentlemen, lot 67 is Cézanne's still life. Particularly fine example of Cézanne's best period. From Madame Cézanne, it passed direct to the Bernheim collection and thence to the present owner. Now, may I say 30,000 pounds? 40, 50, 60. This exceptionally fine example of Cézanne's middle period standing at 70, sir.
That picture was stolen, or it's a fake.
Madam, I must warn you.
I know that picture. What I'm saying is true.
Notwithstanding the interruption, ladies and gentlemen, it's always a place for the amateur art critics. Now, may I say 80,000 pounds? Thank you, sir. 80,000 pounds. 90, 100, 100,000 pounds, 110,000 pounds. The bid is in the center of the gallery. 110,000 pounds. It's yours, sir.
Well, that didn't do too much good, did it?
Do you want to wash your hands of the whole thing?
No, I didn't say that. But none of those guys in there thought that painting was a phony or hot. And most of them are experts. And that pedigree...
You mean the provenance?
Yeah, it's all in the catalog.
Oh, except the name of the seller.
Well, I guess I could ask. While you wait for me outside, I'll ask and see who it is.
Well?
In his typically English way, he said that he wasn't at liberty to reveal the identity of the vendor. But that pedigree...
Provenance?
Provenance. That's straight.
So you don't believe me? Father would never sell that painting. Never. It's hardly as though he needs the money. Why should he turn against me suddenly? After all these years, without any explanation. I think you'd better see for yourself. Where's your car?
It's in my apartment.
Right, we'll pick it up.
there a garage around here anywhere?
What's up then?
I have a flat.
Got a long walk then, ain't you?
I've come to see my father.
Now, you know our orders.
But you know who I am.
Yes, and I'm not to let you through.
Gerald. Gerald, what in heaven's name's going on? Please explain why I'm locked out.
Don't blame me. Father gives the orders.
But why me?
I know it doesn't make sense, but he won't have you near him. And once he's made up his mind...
But why? I've a right to know.
Jane, you don't help yourself or anyone else by making scenes, either here or...
Yes.
Oh, forget it, but you may as well face afterwards. He's sick, he's old, and he's not himself. Surely you can indulge him a little.
Indulge him? He refuses to see his own daughter.
I don't want to upset you or anyone else, but at his age... I'm sorry, Jane, there isn't any more to say. The most unpleasant scene was Jane. She's making things very difficult. Now, look here, Father. Oh, no.
Hey, you want to earn a quid or two?
Could ask that chauffeur to help, but I don't think he would have wanted to get his hands dirty. What do they keep over there anyway? The crown jewels? One of the first times I've ever seen a Rolls Royce turned away from any place.
You're very interested, aren't you?
Yeah, a little bit. Want to make some more?
All depends, innit?
Well, that's fair enough.
Now, Mr. Charles and I have called you together to thank you most sincerely for all you've done for Mr. Farson and to make it quite clear that none of you will be redundant. Moran, you and Mrs. Bailey, Claire and Nancy will be joining my staff in Hampshire. Jane, you and Tom and Percy will be going to my brother's house in Wiltshire. Now, I know that none of this surprises you, but you will be going today, this afternoon, in fact. Everything has been laid on. Only Cook will be staying on here.
Can't we say a final word to the master, sir?
I only wish it were possible. Unfortunately, Mr. Farson is far too ill to be disturbed. Only Dr. Vance and Nurse Jennings will be allowed into his room. Thank you.
May I assure you that you are all very near to my father's heart. My brother and I will convey your feelings to him.
Mr. Gray. Mr. Gray.
Oh, how am I? Oh, I must have fallen asleep, haven't we? Time passes so slowly, yeah?
Mr. Gray, you are on.
On? You don't mean...
Yes, this afternoon. He passed away in his sleep.
Oh, but I'm not ready. My moustache. I'm not ready. My moustache.
I don't mean at this moment, Mr. Gray.
I mustn't disappoint my audience. In a long, full life, devoted to the boards, I have never yet missed a cue.
I'm fully aware of your distinguished theatrical career, Mr. Gray. What worries me is whether you're prepared for this particular role.
Every actor worth his salt, Mr. Farson, needs time. Time, sir. Time to perfect a gesture here. Time to perfect an intonation there. You're too damn lazy. Everyone's so bone idle these days.
No, not now, Mr. Gray, please.
Oh, terribly sorry, terribly sorry indeed, sir.
Lock it.
Right. All the world's a stage, and all the men and women merely players. They have their exits and their entrances, and one man in his time plays many parts.
Mr. Gray.
The last scene of all that ends this strange, eventful history is second childishness and mere oblivion. Sans teeth, sans eyes, sans taste, sans everything.
Oh, thank you. Please use this one. So, you are McGill?
That's me. I didn't know we were having company.
Makes a nice surprise for you then, doesn't it?
Gerald Farson, Jane's brother. I thought you saw me when your car broke down.
Oh, yeah, it's all coming back now.
Now, what can we do to help you?
Scotch on the rocks, please.
Don't make the large one, will you? Ever since she was at Rodine, my sister's been prone to exaggerate.
So why are you paying him to keep her out?
Have you known any old men, Mr. McGill? Really old. They're changeable, unpredictable.
Well, I don't know. That depends. Anyway, Jane believes that you and your brother are trying to keep her out.
Why on earth should we want to do a thing like that?
For whatever he leaves, who to, how much.
No, Mr. McGill. We've all had our shares, all three of us, years ago. Father gave us $6 million between us in equal shares. Jane's a millionairess.
Well, she mentioned the fact that she had a little piece of the estate.
So, where is the deep-laid plot?
It's to do with that painting. She believes it's her father's. She believes it came from the house.
And since when did Jane blossom into an art expert? Or are you one, perhaps? No. Oh, one Suzanne looks very like another, Mr. McGill. Perhaps you're not aware that he painted several similar studies. I see you've been properly brainwashed. Well, even if he won't see her, he might at least see you, or you him.
Well, what are we waiting for? Wow. All these paintings originals?
Of course. There are certainly not more than 3, probably not more than 2 better private collections in Europe.
Really? Can you put some light on that Cézanne?
With pleasure.
Take an expert to tell the difference, wouldn't it?
Which obviously you are not. Otherwise you would have noticed the brushwork is all a question of impasto. Now, if you want to meet my father, I think we'd better hurry. He regards people who keep him waiting not only as fools, but enemies.
Okay.
Don't be offended if he's rude. Father? Father?
What?
I brought Mr. McGill to see you.
McGill?
Yes, he's a close friend of Jane's.
Well, why did you bring him?
Oh, he's a guest, Father.
I don't seem to be making myself clear. Since when have you been the arbiter of whom I should see? Huh? Now, you look here, McGill. If you come here to plead for my daughter, you're wasting your time. You'd be much more profitably employed playing snooker or something, or looking at my collections, since you are here.
Yeah, your son said you had one of the best collections in Europe.
Oh, did he? Since when have you set yourself up as a connoisseur? Now, you listen to me, Gerald. When the time comes to realize this collection, I don't want you relying on your own fool judgment. You'll leave it in the hands of someone who knows what he's doing.
We're not thinking of selling, Father. It has a sentimental value.
Sentimental fiddlestick. Only one reason to buy a painting. That's an investment. It's the best investment there is. It's proof against takeovers and devaluation, revolution. All I'm saying is I don't want you to be tempted into trying your own arm. You wouldn't know a Cézanne from a handsaw.
Your daughter's interested in a Cézanne, like the one you have in the hall. Brought about 110,000 pounds at an auction.
Did she buy it?
No, she was,
Oh, more fool her. 110,000 pounds. Didn't you know mine will be worth twice as much as that in 5 years?
Well, that's why she was so upset. She thought that was yours.
Typical of Jane. Impetuous, slapdash, always making unnecessary scenes. She got that from her mother.
Really, Father, please.
So you're a close friend of Jane's, are you?
Well, I'm a friend, but I'm not a close friend.
Friends, lovers, husbands, flower people. It's all the same these days. Now, you look here, young man. Tell my daughter I don't want to see her. Precious little sympathy I've ever had from her or from her mother.
I don't think Mr. McGill's interested in our family affairs, Father. If you don't mind, Mr. McGill.
I'll see you later, Mr. Parsons. Glad to have met you.
You give my daughter my message, McGill, and you give it to her straight.
Mr. McGill, I'm sorry about that. It's always unpleasant washing one's family linen in public. At least you've seen the situation for yourself.
Yeah, I think I have something to tell Jane now.
Look, let her down as likely as you can. It's all in his mind, his age, you know. Well, you do understand that, don't you? Well, you know your way out. Logan will see you to your car. If you don't mind, I'd better get back. He's a trifle overexcited.
Thank you very much.
Oh, Mr. Parson, well, how was I?
Superb.
Oh, too kind.
You went a bit over the top about Cézanne, though. I do know something about art, you know.
Well, nothing personal at all, Mr. Parson. It's all part of the characterization. You see, I believe that conflict is the essence of all true drama.
Oh, quite. But if there should be a repeat performance, and I sincerely hope it won't be necessary, just bring it down a bit, eh?
Certainly, Mr. Parson, certainly. Mr. Parson,
yeah.
After the first night, as it were, I wonder if we could indulge in a little celebration. The key to that drinks cabinet appears to be missing.
Oh, we'll celebrate, Mr. Gray, once the performance is over.
Well,
listen, I saw that painting. It's still in your father's house.
That Suzanne at the auction was my father's.
Your brother told me that painting was very much like it, but they weren't the same. How much do you know about painting, Jane?
Don't look at me like some rotten psychiatrist. It's not me that's mixed up.
Well, that Suzanne is still hanging in your father's house, and he thinks the value's going to double in about 5 years, so he's not interested in getting rid of it.
You've seen them both. Was there any difference?
Well, I'm no expert, and I don't have your photographic memory. I think you're just wasting your money. Seems to me he just has some sort of block against you. Nothing I can do about that.
Why me? Why not Gerald and Charles?
I don't think he cares about any of you too much.
That's just his manner. If he was so much against me, why leave me a fortune?
That's a good question.
McGill, all I'm asking, if he's as ill as he seems, I ought to be there. Offered you more money.
I appreciate it. But there's no more job. There's nothing left for me to do.
Yes, there is.
What?
There are two things. You can take my father a letter, and you can get me a color photo of that Suzanne in the hall.
Well, you really love throwing your money away, don't you? Might as well throw a little to me. Mind if I use your phone? Little Logan loves playing the horses. I think I can catch up with him.
Saskatoon now dropping back. Moravian Gold now improvement. Coming to final 2 furlongs. It's promotion, yeah, taking it up. Being challenged by Sunninghill Club. These are followed by Bunker, I Claudius. Then comes September now dropping back. Into the final furlong. It's Sunninghill Club taking it up. Followed by promotion, yeah, then comes I Claudius. After furlongs to run, it's Sunninghill Club, the leader. Being challenged by I Claudius. It's Sunninghill Club.
Ah, McGill. Today, the bookies have doped all my horses.
Hard cheese. Boss man's not around today, huh?
Yeah, he wouldn't be found dead in a dump like this. He's anti-gambling anyway. Now, I make no charge for last time.
What?
The contact, introduction.
Oh, well, thank you very much.
So, what do you want me to do for you now?
Well, I'd like to take another look at those pictures.
Uh-uh. You'd never get in, McGill. The burglar alarm system's foolproof. I've checked it myself. That is valuable information.
Well, that's valuable paper.
Yeah, tenner. That all?
That's all that information's worth. Listen, I'm not trying to hijack the place. I just want to get in there and take another look at those pictures.
But you've already seen them.
I want to see them again, and I'd like to see them tonight, about 9 o'clock.
9 o'clock, you say?
Orders at Ludlow.
Lops! Should be having some grilled salmon, a little ripe camembert, a bottle of old Burgundy. That's what they should be giving me. Ah, Charles, my dear boy.
What?
What? Oh, no, Gerald, isn't it? Yes, look, Gerald, look, you take all that stuff away. You tell cook I'm not interested in slops.
You've been drinking.
What?
Where'd you get that?
I will not be dictated to by my own son. Oh, you have a sip yourself. It might make you a little more human.
Now, look here, Mr. Gray.
Now, you look here, Gerald. One more thing, Gerald. I'm not a man who changes my own mind. But, well, I have been thinking this evening about things I said to McGill. And after all, Gerald, the quality of mercy is not strained. I said some pretty hard things about my daughter. But a man does yearn after his own flesh and blood, Gerald. I want to see my daughter, Gerald. I want to see her.
Once you're inside, you're on your own. Come on. Now close it. Put the cats back on. Joe. You know something? I think we got an intruder. Bonuses all round in the morning.
Who is it? Oh, McGill.
I had to see you without your sons knowing.
I don't know how you got in. You're obviously a man who gets what he wants. I think you're probably as much in need of a brandy as I am. It's over there. I hid it in that cabinet. Well, go on. Whippersnappers. They treat me as if I'm in my second childhood.
Ah.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, sit down.
I brought a letter for you from Jane.
Well, I can't promise to read it.
She's still upset. She's pretty hurt, you know. She just doesn't understand why you won't see her.
Well, she will in time. It's just something that's not open to discussion. You're from America then, Mr. McGill. You've been to Los Angeles?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I had some of my happiest months in Los Angeles, and my most lucrative.
Really? Well, everybody makes it to L.A. sometime or another.
Well, where are you from, then?
Texas.
Texas? Brings back happy memories. I had one of my greatest successes in Texas, in Big Springs.
Big Spring? Well, what kind of successes?
A business deal, business success. No, I think of them as successes.
Ah, well, Jane didn't mention the fact you'd been to the States.
Well, my daughter, Mr. McGill, knows even less about me than my sons, and they know little enough. You married, McGill?
No.
Oh, well, you'll learn. Some marriages just don't work out. It's not something you raise before the children, but we went through a bad patch. That'll be Gerald and the doctor. Hello, put the light out now. You can get out through the window.
Is it okay if I bring Jane to see you tomorrow?
No. But tell her father never lost his love for her.
That's what you get for playing the field, Logan.
It's identical. I'm sure it is.
You don't sound so sure about it to me.
Well, where's the difference? Brushwork and impasto. Or was Gerald blinding you with science?
Well, it's been a long time since I've been to paint class.
Don't be so superior, Mr. McGill. You said yourself it was a strange setup.
Well, it is. It's sort of like a museum around there with its own police force. But then that collection of your father's is worth a fortune.
Father's been collecting for 30 years. He's never hired protection yet. It's not that. There's only one reason for those guards. Keep me out.
Well, it wouldn't take that many, would it? Listen, he didn't read your letter while I was there, but he told me to tell you. He never lost his love for you.
Love. I'll tell you something, McGill. That's a word he never used in his life.
Well, he used it last night. In fact, he seemed quite a bit changed. He was more mellow. Unless it was just the brandy.
Brandy? He never touches the stuff.
Listen, he keeps his own private supply hidden away in that cabinet.
He must be losing his mind.
No, he isn't, but I can't speak for anyone else around here. He was very friendly, he was sociable, he seemed interested in everything.
Mercenary, self-centered, generous at times. Sociable, never.
He would have talked all night long about his visit to the States if we hadn't been interrupted.
Never been to the States.
He talked about Big Springs, Texas, honey, and L.A.
Please, McGill, allow me to know my own father.
Right before he helped me out, he told me that you knew him less than his sons.
McGill, I have got to see my father. He's behaving very strangely. I don't know what Gerald and Charles are up to, but this whole thing stinks. Can you fix it? You must.
Look, I couldn't very well just get my own private police force and bust in there and do battle with them, could I?
You just have to improvise, won't you?
That money just burns a hole in your pocket, doesn't it? Do you have any friends that do any visiting up there?
You're joking. It's as easy to get in there as Broadmoor.
Broadmoor? That's an asylum, isn't it?
Oh, wait a minute. There is someone. Our doctor, Dr. Vance.
Dr. Vance? Well, where's he hang out?
This time of the evening, I should think he's at his club.
Sir James is in the dining room, but he'll come down. The ladies' annex, Miss Farston, is along the passage on the right.
Well, would it be better if we waited out on the sidewalk?
I'm sorry, sir. It's standing orders. Ladies not admitted except to the annex.
Well, that's what's wrong with this place.
Oh, thank you, Brown. Jane, my dear, would you mind stepping into the lady?
Doctor, we can handle this right here. We're in a hurry.
I just had a phone call from Gerald. Father's had a relapse.
A relapse?
Yes, you must come right away.
Well, I'm in the middle of my grouse.
Come on, Doctor. We need your help.
Who is this individual?
McGill's my name.
Now, look, if we are going off on what will probably end up as a wild goose chase, I insist upon phoning Gerald before we go.
Doctor, will you...
I want to phone...
Get you there before you can make that call.
Well?
As soon as Logan opens those gates, you just drive straight to the house.
This is outrageous. It's touch and go with Mr. Farson in his present condition. I gave strict instructions he was not to be disturbed by anyone.
Doctor, don't mess around now. Just do what I said and let's get going.
Logan, I need your help.
There's a couple of patients for you, Doc.
It's McGill. And a girl. It must be my daughter. He brought my daughter to see me. Where am I? I'm lost. I'm lost.
It's over here. It has gone. Oh. Must have moved it. Wonder why. Switch on the light and get me something to stand on.
Yes, sir. How's this?
Lock Brain and take the key.
Right.
I knew it. It's a copy.
Yes, Jane. Very clever of you. Now, hadn't you better come down?
Mr. Gravy.
If that's a copy, then the painting at the auction was the original.
There's a very good explanation, Jane.
What is it? You've no right to sell.
I didn't sell it.
Well, Father wouldn't. You knew it had gone. You've just admitted that. Where is Father?
He's in no condition to see you now.
But I've a right to.
Gerald. Gerald, I must speak to you.
Father! That's not him. It can't be. Father's paralyzed. You're not my father.
Well, whoever he is, he needs help.
You have forgotten my child. What age can do to a man.
Performance is over, Mr. Gray. Nobody wants an encore.
Who is this?
No actor could have done it. Could have brought that off. Not with his own daughter.
Well, you fooled me.
Oh, yes, but you'd never met Mr. Farson.
That's true, but you never should have been asked to play this part.
It's the first time, McGill. First time I've ever let down my audience. I think I need a brandy. No. I'm quite all right. Oh, unless perhaps you'd care to join me in a glass?
Okay, but let's make it later.
Yeah.
Where's Father? What have you done to him?
Very well. Come with me.
No, Gerald. No.
Don't be ridiculous, Charles. I don't want to use violence against my own brother. McGill, you're used to this sort of thing.
Oh, you left the safety on.
No! Jane. McGill.
Gerald, I suppose this is absolutely necessary.
I'm afraid so. Perhaps you'd like to open it, Charles?
I'm sorry. I don't think I can.
Oh, he died naturally. We're not murderers. It was all his own idea. You know what Father thought about this government?
All governments and all taxes, especially death duties.
So he decided to give us our legacies in advance, but it meant he had to stay alive for 5 years. Otherwise, they'd have clobbered us for death duties. A cool 2 million, you as well as us.
Well, I'll be.
We did all we could, of course, to keep him going.
Well, why didn't you tell me? Would have saved us all a lot of trouble.
What do you mean? Well, actually, we did consider letting you in on it. Personally, I was in favor.
But Father thought you'd be too squeamish.
Squeamish? Like Father to let us down.
Oh, it's a terrible shame he didn't die on schedule.
It's all taken care of. The death certificate will be post-dated.
In the circumstances, I may have to record the actual date of decease. I run more risk than the rest of you put together.
And you've been more than handsomely rewarded for your pains.
But you have broken the agreement. No one else was to know.
The Cezanne.
Exactly. You were a fool to get rid of it so quickly, James.
I was free to do with it what I wanted. It's your father's parting gift to me.
For post-mortem services.
You're certainly not going to Welsh on us now, James.
I don't think we need worry about McGill.
Well, take your pick, McGill.
No, thanks. I've already been paid.
It's easy money, McGill.
Easier than yours. Well, I'll tell you what, fellas, since you're being so generous, I can take my pick.
Any one. They're all valuable. You can hardly go wrong, McGill. There isn't a painting in the hall worth less than, in your terms, $50,000.
Well...
Oh, very good taste, McGill. My favorite, Modigliani. It should fetch at least $100,000. Well, go on, take it down. It's yours.
Okay.
Now, if you don't mind leaving us, McGill, we have some purely family business to discuss with our sister.
How about that brandy? Yeah, about your painting. Well, I'll just leave this here for
The last scene of all that ends this strange, eventful history, second childishness and mere oblivion.
I don't think it was wise of you, Gerald, to give McGill that painting. I mean, what sort of security is that?
So what do you propose?
How about a funeral service for two? There's another body in there now.
Another?
Not Gray.
I think it was a natural death, Doctor, but you better check.
McGill, you must help us. Please.
Honey, I don't have an icebox big enough to help you.